Hi friends, this is Arcanix back with a brand new video, and in this video I want to talk about what minions feels like and my expectations for them in Path of Exile at the moment. And so I've spent a lot of time playing minions in PoE recently, as well as playing minions in other ARPGs like Diablo 4 and Last Epoch. I haven't explored them as much in Torchlight Infinite, but I hope to in the upcoming season. And something that stands out to me with minions and PoE is they actually leave me wanting so much more at the mid game level. The core of why I enjoy PoE is the sandbox element of it, where it feels like I'm playing with the toys the developers have created, and I'm pulling and pushing things to the extent that I can, like define the limitations of the game. And I really feel this when exploring spells and attacks, but not so much when it comes to minions past the surface level. What makes minions fascinating for Path of Exile, first of all, at its core, to me, is a Spectre system, which is why the setup you're seeing in the background is the Wraith Lord. Because compared to every other ARPG that has a defined minion archetype like zombies or skeletons, when I'm consuming minion content in PoE, the Spectres blow my mind because it means every monster that has been created as an enemy can now be a minion for me. And so it lets the developers put a lot more time into how those minions work and potentially think about what they could look like if their specters weren't designing them. But also just it creates a bigger sandbox as a minion player. The problem I have is I don't love not being able to scale in different ways when playing with minions. So here's an example. I'm using the Forage Frostbearers, which are amazing this league, and this video is not a complaint to them in any way, but just me exploring some of the ways I wanted to pull and push them, but found that it would be really difficult. I really wanted to explore pushing crit on the minions, but found that that could be challenging because we get one crit wheel on the tree as minions. Yes, there are crit clusters, but to be able to scale the crit high enough for crit chance and then crit multi with Grand Spectrum jewels would take significant investment. And I felt like for a lot of questions I had when I wanted to mess around in these sandbox that is minion gameplay in Path of Exile, a lot of the answers were significant investment to take them to the next level. I think minions are actually a little bit weak in the mid game for PoE because you can create a functional build as you're seeing with this Wraithlord setup. And this is the main blood setup, so like how much of it is it really the mid game is debatable. But you can create a functional setup at its core. You can create a setup that helps you get through maps and do T16 gameplay. But when trying to balance the minion damage and then your survivability, it becomes really challenging to take that to the next level, in my opinion, without starting to think about 11, 12 link gear for your minions. And I'm starting to think that the wish list for me for PoE 2 is that we have enough support on the tree to support minions going heavily in the crit side of things, especially since we don't start PoE 2's early access slash beta with cluster jewels. I'd love to see minions be able to be played more in the sandbox. I'm loving the Spectre side of minions in the sandbox, but I'm not loving being able to engage with tons of other players in the minion space and ask questions like, "Oh, this sounds fascinating. Yo, can I take this level?" I'm like, "Oh no, well, not really, because there's no place you can invest into that enough for it to be worth it." Like, oh, okay. Um, the core example here is like I'm thinking about this forage frostbearers as specters, and I love the idea that they shotgun. But I was thinking I would love if they could also freeze as well, because that would be a cool defenses layer as the necromancer they surround, and I think that would just be cool if they could. But looking at the numbers that would have to happen for them to be able to do that, I was like, oh, okay, so they just do good, like they do good flat cold damage, but they don't necessarily won't be critting often or and not even freezing either. And so that was a little bit disappointing at the time. And I've also just explored different other specters or minion setups that I've always just wanted to explore a different route of without being lost in investment. And I am no stranger to investing into builds. I've played builds that are worth from 10 divines to mirror's worth. Like, I have videos this season of me playing a Spark build that's worth a lot. And I enjoy being able to invest into builds, but I think it's a little bit weird for me trying to explore the minion world of PoE and trying to find a balance where I'm still testing the waters, but I don't want to go too under budget. I want a strong mid game that wins me over to wanting to invest more into it. And don't be confused by this. This build was amazing. This build was made by Taconic. I'm going to link his channel and his video and his guide in the bottom if you want to follow it. It's just a version of that build that uses a Mage Blood. His core build guide doesn't use a Mage Blood, but if you want to use that version, I'll post my POB link in the bottom. It wasn't as defensively strong as I think it could have been. I could have definitely gone for more max res, as well as better gearing some parts, but it was really late in the league, and crafting some of those items just became more problematic as things got more expensive. But it's just a quick video and some thoughts on minion gameplay. There's going to be more videos coming up as we head closer to PoE 2 and as the Torchlight Infinite season starts, and I'd love to see you guys in those videos as well. Hope you guys have a great day. My name is Arcanex, and thanks so much for watching the video.